We've already gone over the two most clear kinds of links, and those are when the second word begins with a vowel or diphthong. What about when the second word begins with a consonant? As you know from this course, all words in a thought group do need to be smoothly connected. No break in sound. First, let's talk about word pairs where the first word ends in a vowel and the next word begins with a consonant. A vowel to consonant link. My best friend. My best. My best. Here we have the I diphthong and the B consonant. Now remember, when we're talking about linking, I just put vowel in the title, vowel to consonant, but it always means vowel or diphthong. So here we have the I diphthong, my. The B consonant, best, my best, I, b. Are there any words that have that sound combination? Yes. The word vibe, the word describe. So there we have I and B flowing together with no break. Ibe. It should be just like that, even between words. Mybe, my best, my best. It's two words but one unit, one thought group, all connected. This is also true of consonant to consonant links. Let's keep the word best, but switch out the word my for a word that ends in a consonant. Phillies. Philly is the nickname for Philadelphia, where I live. So you might talk about Philly's best neighborhood, Philly's best restaurant, Philly's best schools, and so on. Philly's best, Philly's best, Philly's best cheesesteak. Philly's best. How am I connecting these words? Well, I'm simply making the two sounds next to each other with no break. Zb, 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 zb. Philly's best. The Z in Phillies and the B in best. And this is what you want to do all the time. I'm making the Z all the way up until I close my lips for the B. Zb, zb, continuous sound, connected sound. Philly's best, Philly's best, zbest, zbest. Philly's best. Some sound combinations are special. Let's talk about them. First, a stop T ending a word. You probably know from studying the T sound that an ending T, when not in a cluster, is a stop T when the next word is a consonant. So a stop means a stop in air. How can that be continuous sound? Let's take the word thought. I thought we'd be there by now. I thought my mother was here. I thought she said she couldn't make it. I thought the show started at 3. Thought we'd. Thought my. Thought she. Thought the. Those do all have a tiny break, a tiny stop in sound. I call it a lift. The energy of the voice keeps going forward, but for 1 second it just catches, pauses, lifts. But even with this stop, we don't sit on it. We don't let the energy of the voice die. It's all going forward. With the energy of the voice going forward, even these stops have a place in connected speech. Thought the. Thought the. It's not thought the, but thought the. Thought the. Moving forward. This stop T isn't the only stop. We have two other unvoiced stop consonants, K and P. Back me up. Back me up. That means support me. Here I'm not releasing the K. Just like the stop T, there's just a little lift in sound before the M. Back me. Back me. Back me. Back me up. Shop for shoes. Shop for shoes. Shop. P, stop consonant followed by another consonant. No release. Shop for. Shop for. Shop for. My lips come together for the P, but they don't release. There's just a little lift in sound. Shop for. Shop for. Shop for. So these are all unvoiced stop consonants. We don't release, we just stop the sound. But the forward motion keeps going, it takes us right into the next word. So if the sound isn't released, if it's just a stop, How do we tell the difference between Schopfer and Schopfer or Schopfer? I need to shop for shoes. I was in shock for 3 days. He was shot for attempting to escape. Schopfer, Schopfer, Schopfer. There isn't really a very clear difference. They can sound the same. They should sound the same. Just a quick stop as the energy of the voice, the phrase moves forward. Context will make the word clear, so don't worry about being misunderstood. So those are the unvoiced stop consonants. We have 3 voiced stop consonants. These are a little different, D, G, and B. In these cases, there's just a little bit of sound in the vocal cords, which does distinguish the sounds, even though they're not released. For example, dad once, dad once, dad once. Do you hear that little D sound? Dad, dad once. Greg once, Greg, Greg, Greg once, Greg once. A little G sound. Bob once, Bob, Bob once, once, Bob once. So in these cases, we're making a voice sound with the mouth in position, but rather than releasing, we go right into the next sound. So it's not a fully released stop consonant, but we do get a little bit of voice in there before moving on to the next sound. Bob once, once, once. Greg once, once, once. Greg once. Dad once, once, once. Dad once. What about when we're dealing with the same consonants? You may have noticed in some of the Ben Franklin speech analysis videos that when one word ends in a sound and the next word begins in the same sound, we link those words with just a single sound. Example, bus stop, 1 S. Mom makes, mom makes, mom makes, 1 M. Stop punching, 1 P. Stop punching. I can only think of one pair of exceptions, and that is the CH and J sounds, ch and J. Those sounds have a stop component, but they must be released. So those consonants will be heard twice. Mitch chatted, ch chatted, ch chatted, Mitch chatted, Mitch chatted. Or Raj jogs, j jogs, j jogs, Raj jogs, Raj jogs. So it's a quick repetition of the sound with no break or pause. Ch chatted, Mitch chatted. A lot of people get tripped up when working with the TH sound. And saying the TH sound right before or right after other sounds is especially difficult. And in teaching, I've noticed that we actually make some shortcuts with our tongues. Sometimes we'll leave the tongue tip out for the TH as we make a different sound with another part of the tongue. I made a video that I posted on YouTube where I talk about these different shortcuts. They all apply to the word the and linking cases where the words involved are function words, so the words will be said really quickly, and you don't want a lot of extra work with the tongue. Let's take a look at some excerpts from that video.
Here we're going to focus on linking the word the to other words. We'll study up-close, slow-motion video of the mouth saying various two-word phrases with the. At the, in the, is the, with the, for the, and on the. All of these common combinations are made up of 2 function words, so they'll be very fast and not too clear. If you pronounce these words very clearly and fully, it will not sound natural. She's at the store. This is not how we speak. She's at the store. At the. It's important to capture the character of American English by saying function word phrases this way. Linking the TH can be hard when you're trying to do it quickly, so let's learn some shortcuts to make it easier. Let's start by studying at the. The vowel in at can be a, but you'll usually hear it as the schwa. At the. In the slow motion video, you'll see with more jaw drop. How do we quickly make the T followed by TH? At the. You probably don't hear a T, do you? That's because it's a stop T here, followed by another consonant. So just stop the air in your throat. At the. What does the tongue do? Let's watch. Jaw drops for the vowel. As the jaw comes up, the tongue tip is still down behind the bottom front teeth. It comes through the teeth. It never went to the roof of the mouth, the position of T. When I bring my tongue through the teeth, I'm in position for the TH, but I stop the air. So I'm ready to go for the TH as I'm making the stop T. At the. Same thing when the vowel in at is the schwa. At the. This is easier than making a T. You don't have to bring the tongue up into position for the T and then through the teeth. Just bring it through the teeth and stop the air. This is how Americans do it. At the. Let's keep watching. Now the tongue tip comes back into the mouth and goes down behind the bottom front teeth where it needs to be for either the E vowel or the schwa in the. Let's watch the phrase again. Jaw drops for the vowel. Tongue tip comes through the teeth, then back down for the vowel. Note that it's just the tip of the tongue that comes through the teeth, not more. Try that with me. At the. Or with the schwa. At the. I'm at the store. I'm at the store. Next, the phrase in the. Let's take a look. In an unstressed syllable, the jaw barely drops for the I vowel. Now the tongue tip comes through the teeth. But wait, isn't the tongue supposed to go to the roof of the mouth for the N? Yes, that is usually how the N is pronounced, but I can make the sound with the tip of my tongue through the teeth. While the part that's just a little further back is at the roof of the mouth. In the. Now the TH, and the tongue tip goes back in the mouth and down for the vowel. Let's watch the phrase again. Tongue comes through the teeth for the N, TH. This is simpler than making the full N position and then the TH position. This is how Americans do it. So now you have two shortcuts. The stop T can be made with the tongue tip in position for the TH, and so can the N. Let's watch at the and in the again. Notice the movements of the mouth are small and simple. Next, the phrase is the. A lot of people have a hard time linking the S or Z with the TH. The jaw drops just a bit for the I vowel, and the tongue tip touches the back of the bottom front teeth. Next, you'll see the tongue tip move. It will point up. The tongue tip can either point up or down to make the S and Z sounds. I do both, depending on the word and the sounds around it. The teeth come together for the Z sound. Is. Now the tongue tip does something interesting. It doesn't come through the teeth for the TH. When the voiced TH begins a function word, like in the, these, this, we can do a shortcut. Rather than the tip coming through the teeth, it presses behind closed teeth. The. Important, it is not at the roof of the mouth. That would make a D sound, and that's not correct. Let's look at the correct position. Jaw drops for the vowel. Tongue tip up and teeth close for the Z. Tongue tip comes back down and touches the back of the closed teeth. This is the correct position. Tongue tip is not at the roof of the mouth. And tongue tip down for the vowel in the. Let's watch again. Amazing! This is a much easier way to make the voiced TH quickly in a function word. This happens a lot. In the first two examples, you can make the sound before with the tongue in position for the TH, the stop T and the N. But you can't make the S or Z with the tongue tip through the teeth, so we take a different shortcut. We alter the TH by not bringing the tongue tip through the teeth. Is the. It still sounds like a TH to native speakers. It still sounds right. The next phrase is with the. Wow, 2 THs. What do we do here? Let's take a look. The lips round for the W. When the lips part, the inside of the mouth looks dark. That's because the tongue was lifted in the back for the W sound. As the tongue comes forward, the tip heads right for the position between the teeth. There's the TH. Then the tongue tip goes back inside the mouth and down behind the bottom front teeth for the vowel. What do we do with the 2 THs? With is usually pronounced with an unvoiced TH, and the with a voiced TH, the. Here's what to do. Combine them. Just make one TH. Make it unvoiced and connect the 2 words with it. With the. A voiced TH would also be okay with the, but it's much less common and it's more complicated. So stick with the unvoiced TH. With the. So here the shortcut is don't make a voiced TH. Combine it with the ending unvoiced TH of with. Let's watch again. It looks pretty simple, doesn't it? Now let's study for the. For reduces to for in a sentence. For you, for me, for the first time. To pronounce it this way, the bottom lip comes up to touch the bottom of the top front teeth. Let air pass through. The tongue can be pulled back for the R. It won't affect the F sound. For the R sound, the middle of the tongue shifts back and up a little. Fur. So the tip of the tongue isn't touching anything. Further. So the tongue tip is pulled back and we simply bring it forward through the teeth. Let's take a look. Wow, this is in slow motion and yet the tongue tip was through the teeth for just a brief moment. Let's watch again. Further. Can you practice that quick movement without making sounds? Just bringing the tongue quickly in and out. This is the movement you want. The tongue tip only needs to be there for an instant to make the right sound. Since the sound before R and the sound after the vowel are both voiced, your vocal cords are already doing what they need to do. All you have to do is that quick tongue movement. If it feels awkward, don't worry. The movement is quite easy to practice, and practice will make it feel more natural to you. For the. Let's look one more time. Now the phrase on the. Do you remember the trick from in the? You can make the N with the tongue tip through the teeth. Let's take a look. Jaw drops for the vowel. The tongue tip is pointed down. Then the tongue tip comes up and out of the teeth. A quick, simple movement. Let's watch again. So linking the TH isn't as complicated as you might think. The movements of the tongue are small, and there are shortcuts you can take to make transitions between consonant sounds easier. Let's look at the phrases one more time. Notice the simplicity of the mouth movements.
So this has now covered linking, and all this goes back to reinforce what we learned in the Foundations course, which is the idea of connected speech in American English. And one way to work on that is to say a phrase all on . It's just connection. You're not even worried about sounds. It's all forward motion. It's all forward motion. And this is what we want when we put the words back in. Linking helps us do that. It helps us capture the forward motion and connected sound.